All right, we've got our daily NBA best bets and predictions here for Saturday, April 5th. We've got 5 games today in the National Basketball Association, and not a bad slate today, honestly. Not many blowout potential games. There's one because the Philadelphia 76ers play basketball today, but other than that, 4 solid games. We'll see what we get today out of Mavs Clippers considering yesterday's monstrosity. We'll see. But folks, before we get into the best bets and predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted both our college basketball best bets with the Final Four of both the NCAA tournament and the Crown, and our MLB best bets, along with on Greedo Plays MMA. Go make sure to check out our UFC Fight 8 Emmett versus Murphy predictions. That is today in Las Vegas, Nevada, from the UFC Apex. Okay, let's get on to the first of our 5 games today. We start things off in Atlanta, Georgia, with the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks. I know what you're thinking. Oh, the Hawks again? Yeah, we're doing it. Guys, we gotta start thinking about this with 5 games left in the season, 5 or 6, give or take, about what team it is. Where do the Knicks have to go other than number 3? They're not dropping. I don't think the Pacers could get to 3, but I highly doubt it. Indiana's got to play Cleveland twice down the stretch. So, and they still have to play the Nuggets, which they might beat them, but I don't know. New York's kind of stuck in 3. They have nothing to play for. The Hawks absolutely have something to play for. They can still overtake the Magic to get home court in the 7 versus 8 game. And they still need to, fight off the Bulls and the Heat who are behind them in the standings. This game means a lot more to the Hawks than it does the Knicks. Jalen Brunson still not back yet. He's questionable today. I doubt he returns on the road, if I'm being honest. Maybe he does, but I think Brunson's going to be back tomorrow because they play at home tomorrow. It just makes more sense. They play the Suns at home tomorrow. Why would you bring him back in Atlanta? If it's a back-to-back anyway, you might as well have him play the Suns game and give him an extra day of rest. I don't think they'd bring him back for an Atlanta game at 3 o'clock. I just don't think so. So I expect Brunson to be back tomorrow against Phoenix. And that being said, this game means something to the Hawks. Does it really mean anything to the Knicks? Yeah, they don't like Atlanta. They don't like Trae Young. But that's more of the fans in New York don't like Trae Young. You know who actually hates New York? Trae Young. Trae Young doesn't like the Knicks, and he wants to stick it to all the Knicks fans. I think the Knicks could care less about how the Atlanta fans feel about them. You know Trae Young's trying to beat the Knicks with everything that he has. That's the difference in this game. And we know Trae Young's been playing great ball all year long. It's just he's been the sole, the sole leader. There's, really just the sole playmaker on this team. He's doing everything in this team, and sure, they've got great shooting around him. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I really like some of these, role shooter guys. I'm talking about, LeVert, Georges Niang. Like they've got guys, but it's Trae Young's team undoubtedly. He's trying, man. He's trying. That's all I can say. Now, I do wonder. I don't think this is going to happen, but can Jalen Johnson come back for the playoffs? Right, he tore his labrum in late January, but we're almost close to being on that timeline where he could come back for comparing it to Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero's injury for the torn labrum. Now, again, I don't expect Jalen Johnson back, but you got to think, if they can win in the play-in, will Johnson be back for their playoff series, at least in a limited role? I don't know. Same thing with Clint Capella. He's supposed to be back for the playoffs, for the regular season. He's out. So I don't know. They're missing so many guys. Trae's been fighting every single day, and I think the Hawks do beat the Knicks tonight. Again, it's just one of these games. Trae Young against the Knicks. I don't bet against Trae in any of these spots, even when they are in New York. That's how confident I feel in Trae to win this type of game. In both of the Hawks games, in the only Hawks-Knicks game played in Atlanta this season, Atlanta got it. It was on November 6th. They won by 5 points. The other 3 times they played in New York. Trae won the in-season tournament game, but ultimately lost the last 2. I think they get New York here. Again, the game means a lot more for Trae Young and the Hawks than it does the Knicks. I'm taking Atlanta here at home to beat New York. You can keep your points. We're taking Hawks plus 140. Let's go on to our next game, and we go to Detroit, Michigan. Pistons and Grizzlies. Will Cade Cunningham be back or not is the question. I think he probably will. Honestly, I think Cade actually will be back today. Didn't play yesterday, right, in their win over the Toronto Raptors. But if he's going to play, it's going to be the second night of a back-to-back. So it's probably going to be this one. Another guy, like we talked about the Hawks, about Jalen Johnson and Clint Capella. Jaden Ivey, his estimates that he should be back by the end of the month, which should mean, he should be back in a couple weeks, which means he should be back for the playoffs. Detroit clinched their first playoff berth in years yesterday, so shout out to the Pistons. And sure, this doesn't really mean too much. No, actually, this game does mean a lot to them, because There's a big difference being the 5 seed and the 6 seed. You know Detroit wants Indiana in the first round, right? The Pistons have created this whole rivalry up in their heads that the Pacers hate them for some reason. Isaiah Stewart wants to fight everybody. Tim Hardaway's dad, obviously Tim Hardaway Sr. is going after Tyrese Halliburton. The Pistons want the Pacers series. Obviously they'll take the Knicks series, but they much rather be 5 so they get Indiana in the first round, and it's a much more favorable matchup for the Pacers. Actually, no, the Bucks suck too. I don't really care who the Pacers get. Bring on Detroit, it'll be funny. So the Pistons are trying to actively win. They're underdogs in the spot, and I'm going to take back-to-back dogs here at home. I think they beat the Memphis Grizzlies. I think Cade's going to return tonight. He didn't play yesterday. Cunningham's been out for a little bit. I would expect him to make his return tonight. Even if he doesn't, I don't feel horribly about Detroit the way that the Grizzlies have been playing recently. I understand they beat the Miami Heat. Ja Morant with the walk-off mid-range shot. I have no confidence in this team right now. I just don't. Guys, the Grizzlies are the matchup all teams in the Western Conference want in the first round. They just are. They're the 8 seed right now, and we'll see if they get in. I don't know. I'm serious. There's a chance if the playoffs go the way that they are right now, if the seeds are the way they are right now, and they have to play the Clippers in the play-in in the first round, I'm taking the Clippers. And then if they get Dallas, I think there's a chance AD and the Mavs go into Memphis and win. The Grizzlies would probably still be favorites. I'd probably really like the spread on the Mavericks in that one game, but there's a potential for that 100%. So the Grizz are definitely the matchup everybody wants right now. We'll see. I don't think they beat the Pistons. Going to Detroit is difficult. This team is really good this season, and I expect Cade Cunningham to play. The supporting cast around Cade Cunningham has been great all season long. Obviously, right, they've been able to win games without Cade. They just beat the Raptors yesterday by 12 points. Jalen Duren with 18 boards. Dennis Schroeder's been great, manning the point of this team. And at the same time, Tim Hardaway Jr., back-to-back games against the Thunder and Raptors on the road where he scored 23 points. They return home tonight from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, down to Detroit, Michigan. And I like them to beat Memphis. Memphis has been bad recently. Yeah, they beat Miami. Still don't trust him. Ja's been playing out of his mind. Don't get me wrong. Morant's been great. I just don't trust the Grizz at all. I think the Pistons win this game, and I think the Grizzlies, honestly, I think they're going to end up in the play-in, which is crazy because they were, at one point in the year, the 3 seed, even the 2 seed. I think they're going to end up in the play-in this season. It's like the Pelicans last year, right? A team, I know they weren't at the heights that the Grizzlies were at one point, but I mean, hell, the Pels were in the top 6 for most of the year. And the last, month of the season came and they dropped into the play and ultimately lost to the Lakers, right? So we'll see. I've got Memphis losing this game. I've got the Pistons winning at home in Detroit. Next up, we go to the blowout game of the day. Tyrese Maxey has officially been ruled out for the season. It's been expected. We knew that was going to happen for a while. We just never got that official confirmation. There it is. Okay, sure. The Sixers have Adem Bona leading them in scoring. I liked Adem Bona a lot in college. He was kind of fun to watch, honestly, for UCLA. Got to see him in person at the Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles, and he scored 28 points in their last game. Of course, led Philly in scoring against the Milwaukee Bucks. I like Adem Bona, but that's a problem if Adem Bona is leading you in scoring. Philadelphia, this is a lost season, obviously. I mean, they're 23-54. Oubre and Kyle Lowry are still getting, they're getting ruled out day by day. No, they're done for the year. Okay, Lowry and Oubre are not playing for the rest of the season. The starting lineup is Quentin Grimes, Jared Butler, Justin Edwards, Gershon Yabusele, and Adem Bona. Lonnie Walker is going to give you some minutes and points off the bench, but my goodness, this is horrible. It just sucks for the Sixers because at the same time, they don't own their pick. The Thunder do. Yikes, that's bad. I believe it's top 6 protected, though. I'm pretty sure we went over this the other day. It is top 6 protected. So the Thunder can't get, they can't get Cooper Flag, which would be hilarious. So I guess the Sixers could still land Flag. We'll see. I don't think they're going to get rewarded with Cooper Flag. Let's just be honest. I think a team like San Antonio might. We'll see. But obviously we're taking the Wolves here. Minnesota's the much better squad. Ant is fine, obviously limped off the court in the game against the Nets. He's not even on the injury report, so Edwards will play this game against Philadelphia. I had thought when the injury first happened, again, Ant was fine, but when it initially happened, I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't play the Philly game, comes back from Milwaukee, so he has 5 days off. No, he's completely fine. He's going to play tonight. That means the Timberwolves are going to run right through this team. Again, I don't know how good they're going to be in the playoffs. I'd much rather see the Grizzlies than them, obviously. But what happens with, Julius Randle in the playoffs? I don't know. We know Ant's good, but I don't know. I think they get got against one of the better teams. I think they're good, they're just not elite in the West. The Timberwolves, though, are in desperate need of victories. They're the 6th seed right now. They're trying to fight off both the Clippers and the Grizzlies, who have the same record as them. But as of right now, the Timberwolves do have the tiebreaker. So they are in 6th, and they would play the Lakers right now if the playoff were to start, who are the 3 seeds. So we'll see. Again, the Lakers have back-to-back games against the Thunder on Sunday and Tuesday. So we'll get to that when we get there. In this game, I am taking Minnesota on the spread. Timberwolves minus 15.5. Not my favorite bet of the day. Again, I like the much closer spreads, but if you want to take it, it is right there. Minnesota minus 15.5. They should obliterate the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, let's go to South Beach. The Miami Heat take on the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm taking the Heat. Okay. I'm not joking when I say I think the Bucks are going to get swept in the playoffs. I think so. I think initially when I said, no Dame. If Dame's not playing, again, if Lillard's playing, they're somewhat playable, but I don't know. Again, the latest report on Dame was a couple days ago that he was hopefully can return to basketball activities in the next week to 10 days. But that means he's just going to start practicing. So will Dame be back for the playoffs? I don't know. I hope he is. It's better for the game of basketball, obviously, and it'd be a much better series between Milwaukee and New York if Dame is playing. But right now, I don't trust the Bucks with anything. They are so dependent on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I get it. Giannis is an elite player in the sport. He's leaving Milwaukee the first chance he gets in a couple off seasons. Just be honest, he's going into free agency, and he's either going to the Knicks or the Lakers. Okay, let's just be honest about this. The Knicks are not going to have the money though. He's probably going to go to the Lakers. I'm not going to complain. Okay. Anyways, Giannis posted 35, 17, and 20 in their last game over the 76ers. It's insane stuff this guy's doing. This is MVP Giannis type stat lines because of the lack of what is around him. Drew Holiday's gone, Chris Middleton's gone. The pieces that the Bucks won the championship are with and around Giannis in 2021 are all gone, and he's got Kyle Kuzma now and KPJ around him and Brook Lopez. Yeah. When Dame comes back, obviously they're a lot more playable, but even then, I don't think this team does anything in the playoffs. Tonight, I actually think they go to Miami and lose. I know the Heat lost to the Grizzlies. They were that close, though, to extending that winning streak to what? 7 games? Right? They go on that big streak. They beat Charlotte. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Sixers. They beat the Wizards. They beat the Celtics. They almost beat the Grizz. Tyler Hero has stepped up in the last couple weeks, right? 35 points in the loss to the Grizz. Khalil Ware, we know he's been great all year long, the rookie out of Indiana. Playing alongside Bam Adebayo has done wonders for him this season. Andrew Wiggins is out tonight, but that's fine. As long as Tyler Hero plays, who is questionable due to a right thigh contusion, I feel completely fine with the Miami Heat. They're at home. The Bucks struggle. Again, yes, they have Giannis, but what the hell else do they have? Nothing. Give me the Miami Heat to win this basketball game. They're at home, and they are the all-around better basketball team. Something to note, Kevin Love hasn't played in 2 weeks. He's been out with a personal issue. I mean, do we know what's going on with Kevin Love? I just see this every day. He's been out with the personal issue for a while now. Has anyone said what's going on here? Genuinely. I've kind of just ignored it because, K-Love doesn't play the most minutes. But, is everything good? I don't know. I'm looking at, the Heat's Twitter page yesterday posted he's not playing again. And there was just all the comments about Wiggins. So, I don't know. Hope everything's good. Anyways, let's go into our final game of the night, and then we go back to the Intuit Dome. All right, Mavs-Clippers, the rematch. The Clippers ran right through the Mavs yesterday, and I said it at the time yesterday, and I'll say it again. If AD's not playing, this team's it's completely different. They obviously got blown out. The game was never competitive because Anthony Davis did not play. It's a second out of a back-to-back, guys, and I think this was actually smart for the Mavs. They knew likely they weren't winning back-to-back games against the Clippers, and they look, okay, if Kawhi's in the lineup, well, we're not going to play AD then because we just need to get one of these games, right? Because look where the Mavericks are. They could theoretically fall out the entire thing, but it's going to take a lot for them to because the Suns just suck. So at this point, the Mavs are playing for playing for that 9-10 home spot in the plan. Okay. They got to win one of these games against the Clippers, so they're going to try to get this one, right? Because Ty Lue said there's a chance Kawhi plays today. I highly doubt it. He hasn't done it all year long, and we're this close to the playoffs. There's no reason to. And yes, the Clippers are fighting to get into the top 6, but you'd rather have Kawhi healthy. It's the last back-to-back of the season. I doubt Kawhi goes today. So it's smart for the Mavs. Okay, we're just going to completely tank this game away. They didn't play anybody yesterday, right? Sure. tonight, AD should be back. Derek Lively, who didn't play yesterday, should be back. Klay Thompson went out due to illness. I think he should be back as well. You know, Jaden Hardy got hurt at the end of the game as well. I don't know if he's going to play today. But with AD playing, Lively playing, potentially Klay Thompson as well, yeah, it makes the Mavericks a threat tonight. I'm not telling you they're going to win the game outright, but I think they definitely cover. Honestly, I didn't pick them to win outright, but plus 280 doesn't feel the worst. Let's just be honest. It doesn't feel all that bad because, okay, Clippers, no Kawhi. Kawhi has led them in scoring the last 3 nights. Again, they're very dependent on Zubac and Harden, and those two guys will definitely play, and they can definitely take over the load in terms of Kawhi's scoring ability, but I'm just saying, there's a possibility that the Mavericks win this game outright. We know the difference AD has, and AD playing Zubac, especially, again, AD does not have to play the back-to-back. Zubac does, and AD has played fairly well against Zubac over the last couple seasons. I don't mind this matchup at all for the Mavericks. I think they might be able to win it outright, but definitely, I personally think the 8.5 points feels like a steal because of the circumstances. Lively and AD didn't play last night. Everyone else in the Clippers did except for Ben Simmons. We're not expecting Simmons to make the biggest impact, obviously. So I'm taking the Mavericks here plus 8.5. It's worth the sprinkle on plus 280, I believe. But again, the best bet in my, the one thing I'm playing for this game will definitely be the spread for the Mavs at plus 8.5 because I expect AD to play. I'd be very surprised at this point if he didn't. I'm pretty sure he's healthy now, right? The only question is if Kawhi is going to play or not. Even if Kawhi does somehow play, I doubt he plays big minutes in the first back-to-back he's played in over 365 days. So I feel more than comfortable here with the Mavericks, especially Dallas at plus 8.5. So folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here for April 5th. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more, and make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA predictions. I got a huge one headlining the Sunday slate tomorrow. Thunder Lakers is actually a big series coming up with their 2 games. It is. Just the circumstances around this one, it's massive. We'll see if the Lakers can pick up the win in OKC. So folks, thank you for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. And Mamba, forever.